all set, let me now formally begin with the session. So friends, I can see every Monday all of you joining us here, and you actually show us the example of what Miss Mary Catherine Betson, a writer and a cultural anthropologist, said. We are not what we know, but we are what we are willing to learn. And I see you all joining us every Monday with a strong, strong will to learn. You know what has been said about science and about an inquiring mind? All the world is a laboratory to the inquiring mind. This goes so well in sync with today's topic, and that's about STEM is everywhere. Rosalind Franklin, a chemist and X-ray crystallographer, has said, science and everyday life cannot and should not be separated. We all know in today's time, the scientific and technological innovations have become so important as we face the benefits as well as the challenges of both globalization and a knowledge-based economy. And to succeed in this new information-based and highly technological society, our students need to develop their capabilities in STEM and to new levels, which are beyond what was considered acceptable in the past. So friends, it's high time that all of us as teachers realize its importance and how we can bring in that bent of mind, because it has been said, STEM is nothing but a state of mind. How can we bring in that attitude in ourselves and in our children? This session surely would look at that. And I'm sure by the end of it, you will also see the connection of the NEP with the scientific bent of mind it talks about in developing our children through terms like scientific inquiry, through curiosity, logical reasoning, and so on. Once Einstein had said, if I'm given 20 days to solve a problem, I'll take 19 days to think how to solve it and present the solution on the 20th day. I feel personally, this is something we all need to adopt, this ideology for problem solving. This is where the STEM stems from, originates from, being able to think critically and enjoying that process and seeing that it is possible and it applies in every single aspect of our lives. In the future, 80 to 90% of jobs are set to be based on STEM education. And it's not just bound to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. This goes in line with the question asked by Ms. Devadyuti. It does not mean that your background should be related to streams of science or math. All the fields are somehow related to STEM education. An artist also needs STEM education to showcase its piece of work, piece of art in the best possible way. So let me now introduce today's speaker, a wonderful ambassador of learning, meaningful learning, STEM education, SDGs, and whatnot. My dear friend, Ms. Kavita Sanghvi. She is the principal of CNM school in Mumbai. She's one of the top 50 finalists in GTP 2017. She has made not only all of us, but the whole country proud by being as one of the top finalists. She is a Scientix Teach SDG British Council ambassador. Ms. Sanghvi holds a master's in physics, master's in education, master's in philosophy of education, and has a diploma from Harvard University in CAEL, that is Certificate in Advanced Course in Educational Leadership. She currently heads Chhatrapati Narsi Memorial School in Mumbai. She is a Teach SDGs ambassador and Scientix ambassador, an ardent physics teacher who believes that learning has to be experiential in nature for it to sustain over a period of time. She conducted many action pieces of research on the same and was given the Global Teacher Accreditation by British Council in 2014. She is a British Council trainer and ambassador. In 2016, she was nominated as the top 50 teachers by Varkey Foundation for the Global Teacher Prize Award. A passionate environmentalist, she initiated composting as part of the school curriculum, and today the students have created their own in-house school business of making cloth bags from old bed sheets. The school's efforts have been recognized by School Enterprise Challenge. She is committed to spreading the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals so that the children today can look forward to a beautiful and secure future. And she has created a comic book based on global goals where the students from various schools have contributed. If I go on highlighting the personal and the professional attributes of my dear friend, Ms. Kavita. I think I won't be able to cover that in this session itself. With all my love and respect, I now invite Ms. Kavita Sanghvi to enlighten us on how STEM, that is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, is everywhere. To ask her to clear the concept of STEM, how it is connected to our everyday life, what are the different approaches to STEM learning and teaching, and how is it integrated with various subjects. Over to you, Ms. Kavita.
Thank you so much, and thank you to everybody out here. I have just one request.
Yes.
Make sure that you participate. You please ask questions because STEM
Right.
requires that you keep on asking inquiry-based, IBL, keep asking questions. So I'm going to tell you exactly when the lady said, read a science background. Now let's go to exactly where STEM begins, and that's our kitchen. And I have out here baking soda. I have out here baking powder. It is something that we keep on using for all our food items regularly. But sometimes when I'm making either a dhokla or I'm making my cake, making a cake or something goes wrong. So let's understand where I could be going wrong. So I have put baking soda on one side. On this side, put baking powder. Now let me see what happens when I add water. So please note down your observations. This is baking soda. I hope you can see it very clearly.
Tilt a little low, Kavita. The bowl is not visible fully.
Ma'am, can you please share the screen?
So I think now you can see it clearly.
Yes, and I think the screen is already, we have not started sharing the screen, whoever asked that.
Let's just share the screen. Just right now, okay, just make me the spotlight, put the spotlight on me right now. They can see the experiment, that's all.
So you all can pin Ms. Kavita Sanghvi if you're not able to see. Pin Ms. Kavita Sanghvi. We have not started with any presentation yet. Yes, Kavita.
There's no presentation right now. I just want you to see the experiment, and then based on that, we will take it ahead. So I have taken baking soda and I have put water, and you can see the reaction. So similarly, this is baking powder. I'm going to put the same amount of water. And what do you notice? Okay, so I'm sure you can see what's happening out here. But think about it. You had baking soda, you had baking powder. Both of them show different reactions. Now again, I'm going to do another thing because in your cake and all that, you keep adding this all the time. You keep putting baking soda. Fermentation is coming around. And you put baking powder on one. Now I'm going to put in vinegar. You can put in any kind of acid. I'm putting in vinegar. You can put in lemon or whatever it is you have at home. And let's see what happens. So let's again, I'm going to remove these two. Baking soda. Okay. And now let's see when I put it to baking powder. Now, what did you observe when I put water and when I put in the acid? If you can just, unmute yourself and talk to me and tell me this. What were you observing out here?
So any of the participants who wish to speak up, unmute yourself. Don't worry if the answer is right or wrong.
Yes, because this is where we're going to understand what's happening out here.
Please feel free to speak up.
Good afternoon, ma'am. This is Michelle here.
Michelle.
Yes, and from the first experiment, what you put the powder and with the water, I think there was no reaction as what I could see in.
Yeah.
But then you put the apple cider vinegar, I think then yes, it definitely had a reaction with the bubbles, the gas formation.
So which gas do you think came out here? Which gas did you see? You saw gas, and that is a gas. That gas is very important for us in the kitchen. Whenever we are making any sort of baking items.
Carbon dioxide.
Yes.
Excellent. So let's clap for us. You've really got it right now out here. So I'm going
And
to
Kavita,
now.
are you able to check the messages? We have received the answers on chat as well. All the
Yes, yes,
teachers
yes.
are
And
rightly
it's
saying
coming, it's
carbon dioxide.
flashing on the side and all that. So that's really wonderful. So now I'm going to show, if you go onto the slide and we're going to do a Mentimeter link. So please request Mr. Amit to please share the presentation right now. Because I want you to tell me, what is the difference between baking soda and baking powder? Both of them sound so similar. Why is it that they give such different reactions?
Would someone like to speak? So Miss Nisha says concentration.
Ha ha ha. Okay. Concentration, what is increasing here? Any idea, Nisha?
Anyone who wants to speak up can unmute. Okay, let me share one point here, Kavita.
Yes, please do.
So soda itself is synonymous to a base, and sodium bicarbonate or soda
Exactly.
bicarb, as it is called, baking soda. Uh, it's this being a base reacts vigorously with an acid with the evolution of carbon dioxide gas. Now, the baking powder that we use for baking items like cakes, etc., we cannot simply just use baking soda in it because the baking soda, which is a soda, has that taste of a base. And to neutralize it, the baking powder contains a tartaric acid amount, also a little amount of it, so that that taste can be neutralized to some extent. Now, I have said enough. Others who would
Because
like
you're a chemistry expert, Dr. Jha, you are the chemistry expert. So if you go down here, Amit, if you can move the slide, please.
Yes, so you can unpin Miss Kavita now. Those who had pinned Miss Kavita, you can unpin.
Yeah, you can unpin me. And now you saw the entire experiment we did. Now, if you go to Mentimeter screen, Amit, if you can go down. Just use this code because then I want to know from your understanding, what do you think could be the difference between baking soda and a baking powder? I know Jaya has given you quite a lot of, high-end chemistry stuff. Do you have any idea why baking powder gave us that kind of a reaction?
Hello,
Yes.
this is Mala Roy from BDM International. Could I say something, ma'am?
Please go ahead, ma'am.
Baking soda contains one ingredient, that is sodium bicarbonate.
Yes.
However, the baking powder contains sodium bicarbonate and monocalcium phosphate, and either sodium acid pyrophosphate or sodium aluminium sulfate.
Okay, that's really close by. It contains cream of tartar, and cream of tartar is nothing but potassium bitartrate, potassium hydrogen tartrate. I mean, this is a real big number. I won't tell you the chemical formula. Plus cornstarch. So that is why when it reacted, as Jaya just told you, base reacted with vinegar, and that's when they gave effervescence. You saw with baking soda,
Yes.
but with baking powder, you got more because there's much more to it. Okay, so this is what difference is in the kitchen. So in the kitchen, when you want to bake your cake, please make sure that you're using baking powder. And if you use
Okay.
baking soda, then you please add some acid to it. When you add acid to it, only then you'll see the fluffiness. So this is where STEM is. In your kitchen itself, when you're using it around you, noticing how every single ingredient is so important and why the entire equation is so important. Okay, so um, somebody can you be muted, please? So I've seen your Mentimeter reaction is more alkaline, reacts with base to form salt. Salt is base. It's wonderful. So you're all giving very, very good reaction. This thing's really nice. Now we'll go to the next one. Amit, if you can come down, please. How can we integrate this entire experiment with other subjects? I showed an experiment. Could you please share with me how you can integrate it?
I think even when we talk about the fluffiness in baked items, that's where we can integrate
Yes.
why these baked items are spongy. So,
Hmm.
they think about the CO2 and then from where the CO2 has come into this material.
Wonderful. Somebody said maths. It's really wonderful because again, numbers, amount that you're putting in, the quantity, that's
Concentration.
really nice. Fermentation, Champa, very good. Again, with the fermentation, why it rises, why the dough rises. Very, very good. Oh, yes, in different languages. So you're speaking about languages now, using the same concept and putting in different languages. See the creativity coming in out here. Eradicate the stains. That's another use. Obviously, you can use it to do that. Hot stirrer. Physics, molecular structure. Definitely molecular structure comes in. Weathering. Look at the kind of connections that you've done. So this is real STEM. You've integrated with every other subject. Honestly, you guys are rocking. Okay. So now I
Kavita,
tell you.
just to answer to the English teacher, when you show this reaction and the children see the effervescence, they can connect it to the adjective effervescent personality. Like Ms Kavita, she's an effervescent personality. Now it can be understood when children have seen this reaction. So it's art as well. And
Wow,
how
lovely, lovely, lovely. So go down right now, Amit. Okay. So if you go before that, Amit, because before that is going to be the movie link. Now, I would like to tell you, honestly, I'm a movie buff. Every time I see a good movie, let me tell you, I feel so inspired to write about it because movies have the best STEM learning. Take any movie. One of the favorite movie is Interstellar, and another one is The Martian. Any act out there, if you take it and then you analyze it, understand, is this really possible? Not possible. So let's go on and watch a video on The Martian. Please watch it clearly because I'm going to do a short assessment. Amit, please, if you can share the video of The Martian.
At around 4:30 a.m., our satellites detected a storm approaching the Ares 3 mission site on Mars. The storm had escalated to severe, and we had no choice but to abort the mission. During the evacuation, astronaut Mark Watney was killed.
Is it possible that he's still alive?
This is Mark Watney. I'm entering this log for the record, and I'm still alive. Obviously. I have no way to contact my crewmates. It would take 4 years for another manned mission to reach me. In the face of overwhelming odds, I'm left with only one option. I'm gonna have to science the hell out of this. Okay, let's do the
Yeah, it's not clear. Can we just...
figure out how to grow 4 years worth of food here on a planet where nothing grows. But if I can't figure out a way to make contact with NASA, none of this matters anyway.
Houston, be advised. We've got a video message.
Mark Watney is still alive. In your face, Neil Armstrong.
Let's go get our boy. We mess up, we die.
Every human being has a basic instinct to help each other out. Without exception.
Okay, I know the movie, the clip was not very clear, but I'm sure you were able to see it. So he's trying to actually make food out there, and he's trying to grow or make water grow food and make water, and also you've seen the background of Mars. So looking at this movie, I'm going to make you do a small assessment. And based on this assessment, we're going to be doing analysis of your um, concepts on the planet Mars. And please don't get worried because none of us have been to Mars and none of us have seen it. Okay. So Amit, if you can put in the link of that Martian, which I had put on my YouTube, on my presentation.
Yes, ma'am. I have put in the link of the video here.
Not the video, the link of the Google. If you go to the next page, you can see that it's there. One second, let me see my own presentation. There's a Google link out there if you can see, Amit.
Yeah, he has pasted. Is it a Google form?
Yeah, it's a Google form.
So the link is pasted now in the messages.
Yes, yes. Please, I would request all of you all, please fill this form.
Now I'm sharing the form as well, so everybody can see it and you all can walk through it.
Stuti, the form is just shared by Amit. You can just see if you can see it.
Oh, I left meeting because of the notification, so I couldn't find the link
Okay,
again.
okay.
So
Yeah,
that's
I just, yeah. Amit, if you can just put it once, I'll just put it. Yeah. I feel like a teacher right now, anxiously waiting for the responses. I've received 2 responses. I'm waiting for more. Responses. Thanks. Oh, very great. Very good. Amit, you can stop sharing the screen because I'll share the responses from my end now. Are you able to see it? Excellent. I've got 10 responses. We'll wait for another 30 seconds. shall we go ahead? Jaya, is it okay?
Yes, I think we should go ahead.
Yeah. So let's understand, first of all, just a simple movie, and I've taken certain questions out here. Because initially in Mars, what happens is he said because of hard dust storm, all had to move out. Now, actually, does Mars experience such kind of high winds?
No.
Now, yes, most of you have said, 24% said yes. He said no, maybe. Well, actually, it does not experience such high winds at all. So therefore, when you analyze it, no, Mars does not have it. The answer is no. Mars skies look
Right.
red. So I think that I had majority getting the right answer. That's really nice. Now, average temperature on Mars is much lower, much higher. I think the right answer is much lower. In fact, the average temperature on Mars is minus 81 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, so if you take this also and start putting in questions for your students, they will really have fun. If you compare Martian sol means a solar day, Earth time, then it is actually 39 minutes and 35 seconds longer than us, which majority of you guys have got it right. So very, very nice. Now, in the movie, after being stranded on the surface, Watney uses Martian soil to grow potatoes. Does Martian soil actually support? Well, let me tell you right now, some parts of the nutrients do support, so therefore the answer is maybe. Now, if you weigh 100 kgs on Earth, what would you weigh on Mars? Now, how many of you know what is a gravitational pull on Mars? Any idea? Is it more than us or less than us?
It will be directly proportional to the mass of the planet.
So, what is it, less than Earth or is it more than Earth?
Less than Earth.
It is less than
Exactly.
Earth.
Very good. So the gravitational pull is about 0.375% of Earth. Therefore, if you weigh 100 kgs there, here you weigh 38 kgs on Mars. So on Mars, you become very, very slim. Now you show, there's an image below. You must have seen the image. It was an InSight which touched down on Mars on November 26, 2018. The goal: survive, to locate life, to check the availability, very good, observe information. Yes, it is to find out investigate the interior structure of Mars. This is why it is there. So I have just taken one simple movie on Mars, and you can see that how much we can get people, involved in it. So I have done similar things with Interstellar and even especially all Marvel movies. Marvel, if you watch, which is that one? I really like it where he says vibranium suit he's wearing, Black Panther.
Thor.
You have to watch this, and that really becomes one thing to go ahead with. Okay, so now let's go to the next slide. Amit, if you can move to the next slide. Yeah, so this is what STEM is all about. STEM basically, it's science, technology, engineering, mathematics. This is the definition is there. Amit, if you can go to the definition, the previous slide.
Kavita, as you spoke about Marvel movies, it reminded me of the science behind those characters, costumes, and
Yes.
I've heard about the scientific reason behind the green color that Thor, exudes, whether it is his dress or it is his body. So there is science everywhere.
Everywhere, every single place that they do it.
Right.
So basically,
Even the metal used in his hammer. The metal used
that's
in the
vibranium.
hammer. Yes.
And I checked it out. We don't have vibranium, but we have something called as graphite, which is a new type of graphite coming across, which properties are close to vibranium. So that's something that you can ask your students that if suppose actually vibranium was existing, what would be military impact in the world today? That's another thing to study and to create about. So as you see, STEM education is completely interdisciplinary approach to learning, where rigorous academic concepts are coupled with real world lessons. So as I spoke about base, acid, all that we spoke about, baking soda, molecular formula, we connected it with the baking part of life, you connect it with cake and all the other things, fermentation. And this is what the students are doing. They're applying the concepts of science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and they're making connection between school, community, work, and the global enterprise. This will support them compete in the new economy because, as Jaya has already mentioned, 80 to 85% of the jobs coming in the future will have STEM. If we go down, Amit, if you can go down, please. Yes. So STEM framework has got 3 important aspects. As per New York Academy of Science, you have to have this 3 framework very, very strong. First of all, in your STEM, how strongly are you building the core competencies of STEM? Core competencies are your skills. Instructional design is your lesson plan, your year planning, all the research pedagogy goes into developing a STEM-based curriculum. And finally comes to the implementation. Where are your teachers trained for it? Are you having the resources for it? Are your students ready for it? So that comes to the third part is implementation. Can you go to the next one, please, Amit? Let's go to the core competencies because you already know the 21st century skills that we require and you're all aware of this. Is there anything else that you wish to add beyond this? Please let us know. One very, very important I see here is digital literacy and data literacy. We speak about all of the other things, but we never speak about data literacy. And it's very, very important. Whenever you do any kind of research or study, you have gathered your data, you have done a study of your data, analyzed your data, come up with your conclusions. So digital and data literacy is very, very important. Apart from any of these things, if you wish to add, please let me know about it. These are core competencies. Next one. Next one, Amit. Next slide. Yeah, instructional design. Because when you're creating your year plan, your lesson plan, you need to make sure you integrated STEM with every single subject. It's very, very important. Otherwise, everything will fall flat. So, for example, we were just talking about honey in one of our topics in our school. And then we saw about where did honey come about from bees. What will happen if the bees go extinct in another few years? So that if it do get extinct, how many years we have left?
It's said that within 4 years, the human species would be extinct.
Totally gone.
Once bees are gone.
How important bees are for sustaining life on Earth. So this is how STEM content integration is very, very important. Project-based learning, your projects that you give in school, are you integrating that? For example, a simple, say, even a traffic problem around your school. That also he will say, okay, how is it that you have red light, orange light, green light? How is it working? Why is it that every traffic signal has a different duration of red, orange, and green light? Why? Scaffolding. From year to year, you building upon the respective topic. For example, you started water in first standard. By the time you finished up, how have you taken it across? Your assessments. I think one way COVID has been really wonderful because we've gone into so much of formative assessments nowadays. This assessment is so very important. And very, very important, as I keep saying, research-based pedagogy. Whatever you do, make sure that you have done an action research on it, you've gathered data, you have evidences, support your way through. So research-based pedagogy is very, very important. And obviously, real-world application, which we saw today right now itself. Next one, Amit. And obviously, then it comes to implementation. When it comes to implementation, when I'm talking about, say a beach, and I'm talking about a beach which kind of beach we may not be able to find in Mumbai. You need to make sure that you talk about beach, you connect something at Juhu Beach where you can take your students and see something. But if you're going to speak of something, say, in abroad or somewhere, then their students will not be able to connect it. The local context is very, very important. Most important is your professional development. time to time you need to do your training. Let me ask you, how many of you all have gone to the European SchoolNet website or a Scientix website and just gone and checked how many MOOC courses are available for STEM? They are all free of cost. If you can really go onto those websites and make use of it. I am at present studying aerospace in class. I never knew that there were such wonderful resources available on aerospace in class. So please use that. Accessibility, how easily is accessible for everything around us. Like if I want to do something, say this baking soda, baking powder experiment I did, I've had this access to it. If I was going for something which is really, I don't have an access, then how do I go about it? And obviously scalability, I mean, I'm going year by year extra more and more. Access to materials, and most important, when I've done STEM, at the end of the year, have I studied the effectiveness? I studied and have I analyzed the assessments to know how I'm going to go the next year forward. It's very, very important. So these three factors, as per New York Academy of Science, please ensure that you go through this. And let's go for some fun now. Amit, next slide. Now I'm going to have you look into this thing, but let's make a paper plane. Let's become children once again. There are 9 images out here. Okay, out of that, only 6 are correct. 3 are not correct. Which 3 not correct make our paper plane?
Kavita, please repeat your question.
So there are 9 images out here. Make a paper plane. After the 9, only 6 are correct. 3 are not correct. You cannot use it to make a paper plane. Which 3 are not correct? Wow, one said 1. Dhwani, very nice. Farzana, very good. Ah, Smita, yes, wonderful. I think everybody out here is an expert. Yes, you cut center out of paper, not possible. Crumble paper, not possible. Corner off, not possible. I think they all have got the right ones. Excellent, Purva. Thank you, Archana, Maya. Maya, yes, 1, 3. Yes, Priyanka. Yes, Usha, Veena. Very nice. All of them got the right answer. Now, let's understand how we can do a simple coding in class. You don't need to go into any white hat junior or anybody. A simple science teacher or anybody who's not gone through coding help a child write an algorithm. So if you go to the next slide, Amit. Now this is making a paper plane. Now there are different ways of making you write a paper, making a paper plane. Make 2 algorithms here and share it with me. You have your alphabets, A to H, and in what way are you planning to go about it?
So Kavita, C simply shows that piece of paper, right? C.
Yes. C is only plain of, piece of paper.
Okay.
So quickly in the chat box, come on and tell me what is your algorithm? Wow, C, D, C, then D. Okay. D. Okay. So you have 6 out here, but there are 8. Yes. Good. Very good. So you're getting different kind of algorithms. Obviously, everybody starts with C. And then you have your final, that is your plane. Your final could be an E or a B, could be anything, whatever you want. Okay, that's nice. So now you saw that it's simple making like this helps students build computational thinking. You're making them analyze and go step by step. So you can see that it's not difficult at all. So you can begin a class with simple making a paper plane, having them do that. And next we can go in for a small video as to understand how does a plane work. Let's go with the next one, with the next video. How does a plane work? And this is what I was talking about, airbus.com. Please go to their site. Excellent videos out there.
Kavita, it would be good to clarify that there would be more than one correct answers, right?
Yes, definitely. As I said, you have two different, you can even have 5 algorithms, but you're starting with C and you're ending with either B or what the other one I spoke about.
Amit sir, could you please paste this link in the messages?
Yes, ma'am.
Or are we going to play it here?
Yeah, we're going to play it here because I want them to see this video.
Okay.
So how you can take a simple class, fun activity, and share that STEM.
Right. So those who face any problem with listening or watching this can also click the link and watch in a separate browser.
Till Amit gets the video rolling for us. As I said right now, all of you all have been using flights. Now from aircraft and getting into a plane, how are you starting? Go down. Amit, go down. Go down. Yeah. If you go a little up, it's all videos showing out here. Yes. 1 second. First one, getting ready for your takeoff. Yeah. If you go, there's a lot of videos out there. Are there videos about that also? You can start the video.
How does an airplane get in the sky? Well, there are big catapults at every airport, shooting planes into the... Nah, the plane has to do it all by itself. First, the pilot and co-pilot plan the best route. They look at the weather, how many people and bags are on the flight, and calculate how much fuel they need. On average, a plane needs about extra fuel in case there's a lot of wind or they have to
fly. It's okay, you can stop presenting because I guess you're not able to clearly understand.
Nearby, and sorry. Then they check the plane. The pilots check the outside and the systems on the inside. Check. Next.
Okay, so now looking at this, first of all, there's a lot of list of planes, but tell me exactly, how does a plane fly? What makes a plane fly? What is the principles behind it? Nisha, you said air resistance or something, but yes, shape of the plane, it's across air resistance. Anything else across?
Right, from the forces involved, how the fuel, what is the role of the fuel? Why, the movement of the plane, or, I mean, it can also be connected to rockets. So, why the direction in which the fuel is burning and the energy is being emitted.
Fuel burning and the lift comes in the opposite side. So basically, what really works in a plane is lift.
Lift
is very, very important. So as I said, a simple activity where you do a plane flying, You can out here even bringing your English out here as to what kind of behavior and attitude do the attendants show out here, and what kind of language do they use across. Similarly, for when you're going and doing a boarding, what kind of language is used across. So there's this entire flight thing, bring it open in so many areas of discussion. And also all the concepts get cleared. Another thing, like how is it that the flight food always tastes different than the food that we eat at home? I mean, why is it that it's so different? Okay, so this is also another thing of questioning, and is how long is the food stored for? So many aspects can be taken just at the daily routine life that we have in a flight. Okay, this is something how I can say STEM is connected everywhere, be it your home, be it where you go out, be it in watching your movies, be it you are reading your book, be it any single place. STEM and esteem, because you're giving that artistic thought to it. So now I would love to hear from you your question and answers for STEM, and if you have any kind of questions.
Kavita, this was a very intriguing example when you spoke about think of why food is of a particular kind and what would be the temperature and what are the storage facilities or what is kept in mind when it comes to food in flights. So I think such kind of environments become very controlled environments. It's kind of an ecosystem by itself.
Yes.
Am I right, Kavita?
Even that, also the pressure inside a flight,
yes.
All these things in a simple concepts get cleared completely, when you take a real life example and then connect your class to it.
Right. And there are such relevant real life examples where children hear in the news what has gone wrong with a particular flight. So it's connected to the everyday life.
I just want to tell you that people keep saying, the flight, you have a black box. The black box is not black. So that's also another thing that we need to wonder, that asking the students, black box, and see. So people started looking for a black box, but it is not that way. So these concepts, these terms can be visited, and that an English teacher can bring in, and allow you to say, how is your journey on a flight?
Right.
That can be a really fun, interactive class. So I'm looking forward to you all coming and talking and interacting with me now. Hello, Mayank.
Pranam, ma'am.
What a lovely surprise.
Okay,
Very
Mayank
nice.
is here. Mayank Solanki is here.
Pranam Jai, ma'am. कैसे हैं आप?
Oh, khush raho, Pranam. So he's another Aadharshila. And we have...
yes, he is awesome.
We have Miss Nina also, who's an Aadharshila, who has been a speaker at Aadharshila. We are so glad to have all these people here with us today.
Same. Thank you so much. And thank you, Amit ji. It was very happy that you helped me out completely. And I would love to hear your views and your thoughts about it, please, on STEM.
So participants, please feel free to speak up. It could be about your thoughts on this session or any one idea that inspired you, any questions that you want to ask.
So
one question that I have is, now we've got this old education system that we've studied through. And now when we go back and try to integrate those aspects, so how would educators go about doing it? Do they do it at the lesson plan level, or they introduce some special classes during the course of the week, or what is a good approach to do this?
So basically, it's your planning which is most important. In your lesson plan, if you have integrated it, it's very easy for anybody to execute it. But at the same time, I'll tell you, Amit, we have come up with a completely STEM-based curriculum in our school. We call it as Global Outlook, which is got from 1st to 7th standard. So I'll tell you some examples of a lesson. One lesson is study the floors around you. Now, all of you all, just wherever you are, study the floor around you and tell me what is the name of that tile around you. What is the flooring? Anybody? Marble.
Ceramic
Okay.
tiling.
Yes, and marble. Anybody else?
Ceramic tiling.
Okay. Base tile. Okay.
Is
So you
vitreous tile, if I'm not wrong.
wood you have. Okay. So now everybody has a flooring. If you go, tell us people. Thank you so much. Yes, yes. Concrete on roads. Yes. So what we did, a simple thing is we asked students to do research on the different kind of flooring across the school. So your playground, your bus ground, your classrooms, your library, your laboratory, your music room. Okay. When you do that, then afterwards, when you study the number of floor tiles, you go to a tile shop person and then ask that tile shop person, what are the characteristics of each tile around you? Why would I use a marble? Where would I use a marble? Where would I use a wood? And he will tell you the rates also of the entire tiles so that you know, is it feasible? Okay, for example, if you want to use epoxy, but epoxy is so expensive, you can't use that. You'll have to use sort of basic tile. So you study that. And afterwards, taking different tiles that they've seen from the fellow, they will write down the physical and chemical composition of the tiles. After that, they then study their own house and their own bedroom. We tell them, you have a bedroom. Now you can redesign your bedroom using a flooring which is sustainable, is also feasible. So studying it, tell us exactly the cost of recreating the flooring of their house, of their this thing, redesign it, and they share their image with us. It's obviously an image. So you have actually connected concepts of chemical and physical properties of your elements, your compounds, all these things with a real life scenario. You have studied about your maths where you found out the cost of tiles and actually creating a tile entire floor area. You studied about architecture also. Studied all these aspects of these things, and geography. Yes, Usha, very important. Why in one country we use wooden tiles? Why another country you use cement? Another place you use marble. Like marble, you will not use anywhere which is a very cold country. Okay, so therefore, again, even geography came into place out here. So then also the history of that entire thing, weather condition, very nice, Rennie. Yes. So if you imagine one concept I took across, we take it for at least a period of 2 months, and the 2 months, then finally we ended with a reflection where the child is right more than about 100 words on what was the experience after doing this entire thing. So yes, history, literature, so much, an impact on the environment, wonderful. So this is what we have done across every class. We have about 5 lessons across a year, and that is Global Outlook, which is completely thinking beyond the box. At the same time, in the chemistry and science and all, we do have this integration, but this is something different.
Kavita, wonderful project, wonderful topic that you have spoken about. I think it can further be taken forward into a new dimension, which is about different kinds of materials used for building. Like there are people now moving into professionals from even abroad, getting back to the countries, getting to the grassroots and getting into building of mud houses. Yes. So why we should study why is this material that we are using for building, how is it impacting the environment, how serious it is, because people at the most bother about today's generation also, and we are equally the culprits, I believe. We are concerned about the looks, maybe the costing, how long it's going to last, etc. But how serious are we about its impact on the environment? So how over the years since history till today, different kinds of materials have been used for building houses. Which one would be a better idea for which climate, under which weather conditions, etc. I think this could be an excellent integrated project.
Yeah, that's what we're doing out here. We're making an attempt to ensure that we have brought in STEAM in our school completely. Right. That's our endeavor.
Fantastic, Kavita. You are simply outstanding and so inspiring.
So please, if anybody has any questions, I would be really, it would be an honor to answer you. Thank you, Divyati.
Excellent. Stimulating thoughts. I agree. Nina, ma'am, thank you. She's one of the Aadharshilas. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Jaya. And Kavita, I'm really enjoying this presentation and the
Thank you, ma'am.
flow.
Thank you so much.
Very, very enriching and interesting. Thank you so much.
Kavita, you must be knowing Miss Devika Nardik. She was
Yes,
also
yes.
attending the session. She just left. Maybe she's busy with something, but she was here throughout your session. And when I invited her for this, she had very kind words to say about you, and very rightly so.
I've met her before and she's awesome. And many of my teachers have gone for a workshop. She's very good.
We all also have been attending a lot of her sessions at Shikshangan.
Yes.
Thanks to Mr. Dilip Patel. Miss Vijayam Karta said that she had some issues with her phone at that moment and she couldn't revert to us when we called out. But, they all know, all of you know that we are so glad to have you here. And we know Kavita is one of the reasons why they are all here. Couldn't resist a chance to speak to Kavita, to listen to her. I would like
There's a lot to be done. I just hope that, this curriculum that we are designing in future, it can go across many schools across India because it's from the heart. And if it can go everywhere and every school becomes a STEM-based school, and at least today there's so much of gender bias because, girls in STEM are very, very less.
Right.
It's time the girls started thinking, STEM ladke ka nahi hai, STEM hamara, everybody's a part, the way of living your life.
Absolutely.
Logical, critical thinking is a way of living our life. So that's all I want. More and more girls getting into it. And I'm sure you all will support me for that.
Fantastic. And people like you are role models for all those girls out there, including all of us. And
yes, you also, thank you.
Thank you. So Kavita, if I would like to know more about this curriculum that you are implementing in your school, please consider us as one of your sister concerns where you can equally propagate the idea. We are more than eager to learn and implement. And I'm sure you will open-heartedly share it with us.
Same here, definitely.
Thank you.
I'm trying to putting it down and let's see how fast it comes across.
Sure. And let us know if we can contribute in any way.
Definitely.
For developing it.
Thank you so much.
Namaste, ma'am.
Yes, please, Smita ma'am. Namaste.
Yes, namaste, ma'am. Namaste, Kavita ma'am.
Yeah, hello, Smita. Always a pleasure knowing you.
Thank you, ma'am. Actually, I just want to, take this opportunity to thank you because I remember we were one of the, participants of the pilot project of your STEM where you had, exposed us to various ways of introducing STEM in our daily teaching. So I still remember visiting with you to an ophthalmologist, to a neurologist, and how we can connect interacting with this specialist with our daily teaching, and how students can be made aware of various aspects of a topic, how it can be connected. So thank you so much, ma'am. It was such a wonderful experience learning under you all about STEM. And we just try how still we keep on trying how we can inculcate it in our or involve it, implement it in our daily teaching. And today, wonderfully through this presentation, you have just made us understand that we need not be in search of bigger and complex concepts to introduce STEM in the class. Even through small things which you use in your daily life, through simple activities, STEM can be in a very subtle way introduced in the classroom and can be taken further from simple to complex kind of theory can be applied here, and the students can be gradually introduced to STEM. So thank you so much, ma'am. It was a wonderful presentation and we really thoroughly enjoy every session, whatever you take. It's always a pleasure to learn from you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Completely my pleasure. Thank you so much. Nice to see you, Ashok. Thank you so much.
I was going to call out Ashok because he must be remembering how you have been with him as well for the research that you did, whether it was meeting an architect. We also
I got to meet everybody, your staff. I was really all the time inside your school. So I really had a lot of fun.
No,
I hope someday we can do another research very soon. I hope so.
Yes, please, let's do it together.
Yeah.
And it was a great time for all of us to see how easy it is. If you have the desire, it's very easy to bring in STEM into your teaching learning process. Thank you, Kavita. I would like all the participants to know that Kavita is being a guest again on Wednesday. She's a part of family, so calling her guest sounds a little, odd to me. But anyway, she's going to be a mentor. Day after tomorrow, again, she's meeting us during our PD hour. So RRIS staff, be prepared with the projects that you're